Sawadee krap, I'm JP Mestanza. It's Friday, February 16th. You're watching Phuket Xtra, brought to you by PVCPhuket.com. The alcohol sales ban from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. daily is set to stay after a government panel rejected a proposal to scrap the long-standing afternoon alcohol sales ban.
Under current laws, alcohol sales are banned in Thailand between the hours of 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. daily, and violations could result in penalties for shops and bar owners, including a max sentence of 6 months in jail and/or 10,000 baht fine for anyone selling alcohol in that 3-hour span. The law comes from an order from a military coup over 50 years ago and is not in the Alcohol Beverage Control Act, according to reports. It was implemented, reportedly, to stop some government officials in Bangkok from partying and drinking in the afternoon back in the 70s, according to reports. The Thai Alcohol Beverage Business Association requested that the ban be lifted in the name of boosting tourism and to support the food and beverage sector in Thailand. The proposal was forwarded to the Alcoholic Beverage Control Committee under the Ministry of Public Health, which is where the proposal went to die. Members of the committee, which include representatives from the Tourism, Finance, Interior, Social Development, and Health Ministries, were unanimous in their vote to keep the afternoon ban on the sale of alcohol. However, the final say is expected on Monday during a meeting of the National Alcoholic Beverage Policy Committee, where the legislation is expected to be put in a coffin, though there is a slight chance that it could pass. Concerns during this week's meeting were about possible increase in alcohol-related accidents, with some experts citing that 25% of all the road accidents during the recent New Year holiday period were caused by alcohol consumption. Recently, a pilot project was launched to allow pubs and restaurants at certain nightlife zones around the country, including Phuket, to stay open until 4 a.m. This week marks 2 whole months since that project was launched, and the committee so far says that more locales could be added if the initial phase proves successful. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
A crackdown is now on to find illegal marijuana traders in Phuket as Phuket Provincial Police follow up on complaints of foreigners illegally importing cannabis flowers, peddling cannabis, and randomly organizing parties.
The move comes after the Phuket Provincial Police Commander, Police Major General Sinlert Sikum, called a meeting with the Phuket Cannabis Association earlier this week. The discussion touched upon measures to monitor and inspect cannabis shops on the island. He stated, quote, "Officers will go out to inspect illegal marijuana shops and continue to enforce the law and order that the law be complied with correctly. Any shops found breaching the act will have their licenses suspended." Leading the consortium of cannabis operators during the meeting was Punwarit Dams Wangpatranovich, president of the Phuket Cannabis Association, who expressed his support for greater regulatory enforcement regarding the cannabis industry on the island, while still allowing medical cannabis products readily available. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
2 boat operators have been detained by Marine Police for having expired registrations on their boats and not having enough life rafts on the board, among other violations.
The office from the Central Investigation Bureau made the announcement on Thursday and stated that 3 people in total were taken to be charged for the offenses. It all stems from inspections that were carried out in Ratsada at the Klong Tajin Pier, while tourists were taken out to nearby islands. 2 boats were flagged for having expired boat licenses. In addition, one of the boats was overloaded, carrying more passengers than allowed. However, the Phuket Marine Office has yet to recognize the arrests. The arrest by the CIB follows officials led by Phuket Governor Sopon Suwanara taking active steps to improve tour boat safety in Phuket after a 5-year-old Russian girl was killed when a tour boat struck rocks at Ko Mai Ton on December 31st. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
I was sure that it'll be easier to clear you from my mind. I wish you fall out from the window, take a bad trip to the ground. Ooh. Ain't been the pleasure, see your pressure just before you break a bone.
The Phuket Land Transport Office announced 3 new taxi operators that have now been deemed legal in Thailand, all while having begun inspections of taxi operators at the Phuket International Airport.
The taxi checks at the airport took place from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursday, according to reports, conducted in collaboration with local police and airport staff, all to jointly investigate whether private citizens were using their private vehicles to transport passengers that they do not know to the airport, essentially working as a taxi, which transport officials called black plate operators. 2 people were caught using private cars to provide taxi services, according to reports, though officials also marked 21 charges levied for other violations of the Motor Vehicle Act. It's unclear what mobile apps those 2 people who were caught using their private vehicles to provide taxi services with. On Wednesday, transport officials in Bangkok officially issued a notice that said Thailand now has 11 taxi app services deemed legal, with the addition of 3 new mobile apps. They include Maxim, Tada, and Lineman. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
Airfare increases for flights to Phuket have seen social media users bemoan the high prices, all as the island welcomes only 10% domestic travelers and 90% foreign tourists.
As Phuket is currently in high season, a rise in airfares was expected according to officials, but some users on social media reported paying as much as 14,000 baht per trip from Bangkok to Phuket, while others said they paid 5,000 baht for a round trip. According to the Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand, the regulated ceiling price for the one-way trip from Bangkok to Phuket is set at 6,561 baht for low-cost carriers and 9,074 baht for full-service carriers. Tanet Tanti Piriyakich, president of the Phuket Tourist Association, said that tourism sector has been monitoring airfares but has yet to find any airlines selling their tickets at prices above the ceiling prices. He went on to state, however, that if other fees and taxes were included in the calculation, the price may exceed the regulated rate, in which case the airline would not have broken the rules in terms of the ceiling prices, as the ceiling rate does not include additional expenses. He said that prices are particularly high for 2 reasons, namely the high season and the short lead time of bookings for 1 to 2 weeks before departure. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
We really appreciate you joining us here to end your week at Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. Don't forget, our new edition of the Phuket News English language newspaper, along with our Russian language paper, Novosti Phuketa, are released today. You can catch those at location points all around the island, a link for which is now in the description. Have a great weekend out there, and we'll see you back next week. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000, and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment, offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.